Hello everyone! So today I want to start this new content on the channel called budget cards you should get from a specific set. And this time we're gonna start with Savage Strike. So let's get into it. The first card is Time Thief Redoer. Why should you get it? It's a very good generic rank 4 XZ monster. A lot of people are using him on Orcas decks and with Azathoth shenanigans. So if you plan to play that, or overall, even if you don't, you should definitely get this card for 18 cents. It's really cheap. It's very generic, and if you're playing a dark deck and if you can access level 4 monsters, you probably won't have him. And I think this card's definitely going up. I'm not sure, I can't predict the future, but I think this card's gonna go up as time goes by if it doesn't get a reprint, and I don't think it will because it's just a common card. So you definitely should get it. Next card is Orcas Nightmare. Well, it's going out for 90 cents. And if you plan to play Orcas, you should definitely get this card. Otherwise, I don't know if you should get it. But it's a really good card and it's very budget, so there you have it. Next one is Incantation Inception. It's only 10 cents right now. And this card is generic and can actually work in any ritual deck, not only incantation, not only with the incantation ritual. If you're using incantation to turbo and to boost your ritual deck, this is a card you definitely can consider. And if I were you, and if you like ritual decks, you should definitely get a playset of this as soon as you can. Next one is Subterra Guru. 6 cents, really cheap. A lot of people are playing this deck and having a lot of success with it. This deck's substituting Altergeist right now as the control deck of the format. Actually, it's not having a lot of success in YCSs, but some events ago it was doing good, and I still think it's a good deck. And I don't know if you like control, or if you're considering playing with this sometime in the future, you should definitely get it. Next card is Hypercycle Riser. Hypercycle Riser is a really cheap card, and it's very generic. It's only 8 cents, and it's a very cheap level 6 synchro monster. And he actually has a good effect. I don't know how you can use his effect right now to have a lot of the advantage, but I can definitely see this being handy in the future somehow, in some kind of build, in some kind of deck. It's generic, it's good, it's a good effect, and it's really cheap, so why not grab one for 8 cents, right? Next card is Ghost Meets Girl, A Shiranui Story. If you're playing zombies, this is a card you might want to have in your arsenal, because this card might be really good in the future, depending on what kind of support might be released. It's mostly a going second card. I can't see it being good at all if going in your deck if you're going first, but it's a quick play. It's 50 cents, and it definitely can help you, because with it you can fish for your Shiranui Solitaire, and you can use your Shiranui Solitaire to get your Unizombie. So if you're finding difficulties to get to your Unizombie, maybe you should include this card. And if you're going second, I think it can be a really good card. So if you're playing zombies, you might want to grab this for 50 cents. Next card are the Guard Dragons. Beastie for 51 cents, Guard Dragon LP for 42 cents, and Guard Dragon Argopane for 24 cents. Guard Dragons are being a huge part of the format right now. People are playing them on Crusadia, people are playing them on Thunder Dragons, and I don't know, they are really powerful, they are really cool, and they're kind of cheap, at least those 3 extra dex monsters that you definitely need, and I don't know, you might want to grab them for 24 cents, 42 cents, and 51 cents. They are definitely a good thing to have. Now the next cards are probably mostly for Salomon Great decks, but some of them still can be useful for everyone. Next one is Update Jammer, 5 cents, really cheap. A lot of people are playing on Salomon Greats to OTK your opponent. If you think about playing with Salomon Greats, you should have at least one of those in your collection, because it can be useful depending on the build you're doing, and it only requires 2 level 2 or higher Cyberse monsters to make, so really easy for Salomon Greats to make him. Next, Clock Lizard. Nobody's playing this card yet in Salomon Greats, but if you read the effect, I don't know, this card can be really good if you try to make a Salomon Great build focusing on fusion instead of focusing all on Link Summon. If you only focusing on going second and fusioning, I don't know, this card can be really useful for those grindy games, and maybe having one on your extra deck might not be bad at all. And it only requires 2 Cyberse monsters, really easy to make in the Salomon Great deck. So, and it's only 5 cents. So if you're playing Salomon Greats, you should consider getting one of those and putting in your collection. Next one, Psychic Tracker. This is the cheap version of the other secret rare 3-star card that you can summon. The only difference pretty much between the two is that this is not a turner and the other one is. So if you're playing Salomon Greats and you're not playing any Synchro monster, this card can be really good, and it's an extender, 4 cents. You should definitely get playset and have that in your collection, so you can tweak your deck if you need to with it. And if you're playing other decks that rely on level 3s to make rank 3s, this can also be good for you. Next card, Hita, the Fire Chamber Ablaze, 31 cents. A lot of people are playing one of those in their extra deck for the Salomon Great. It's really good in the mirror match. So if you're playing Salomon Greats and you have troubles in your mirror mat, maybe you should consider putting one of those in your extra deck. Still, it's a really good card if you're like playing with fire decks. It's generic for fire, for fire monsters, and I don't know, she's cool. So you should definitely grab one of her, especially if you're playing Salomon Great. Now, the other 2 cards can actually be used by anyone, not only by Salomon Great player, and they are the Salomon Great Violet Chimera for 80 cents and the Fusion of Fire for $1. So why am I saying anyone can use this? So if you're facing a lot of Salomon Greats and you don't play Salomon Greats, obviously, you can actually put the Salomon Great Violet Chimera in your extra deck, if you have the space, obviously, and you can have 3 Fusion of Fire in your side deck. And if you know you're playing against a Salomon Great, in the second game you can actually put the 3 Fusion of Fire in your deck, especially if you're going second, because you can use your opponent monster's effect, and you can actually out 2 Salomon Great monsters, 1 Link and 1 Salomon Great from their board. So it's really good to help you clear their board and gain an advantage, because you're gaining a monster out of their monster. So I don't know, like, if you're having trouble against Salomon Greats, maybe this is the side deck option that you want to have, no matter what deck you're playing. It's something to consider, and it's really budget. You can get a playset of Fusion of Fire for $3, and you can get 1 or 2 Violet Chimera for 80 cents each. Really, really cheap. Anyway, guys, those are the budget cards you should get from Savage Strike. And that's it. See you. Please help the channel grow by not forgetting to subscribe and leaving your like on the video. Peace out.